それからというもの、マリオはピーチ姫が街へ出るときはいつも一緒でした。
ご心配ありませんよ。私はピーチ姫。
ピーチ姫？ピーチ姫？
Okay.
Okay, that was about as smooth as, like, you know, fucking a blind chick, but yeah.
Okay. Very nice.
Well, I don't know about you. When I fuck a blind chick, they don't really care what I look like. It's to start touching every little pore on my face, my oily little Mexican face.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, the experience is just as smooth as the pussy is, so you get that nice and slick and we're good.
I'm not
like sandpaper.
I don't know. I can't begin to tell you, like, if anybody had noticed, like, all the different alerts that were going off. Let me go ahead and tell you exactly what happened in the last 30 fucking minutes. Okay, I had everything was tight, internet was nice, everything was where it's supposed to be. And for the love of God, I don't know what is up with my bit rate, but it has decided to leave my ass. My internet service provider. My internet service provider is being bought out, so they're transferring servers, like redistributing servers different places. And then when I got that fixed, my fucking cat decided to walk behind the bookshelf and turn off the freaking router.
I like the new. You've got a new like setup.
Yeah,
You got a new background.
Yeah, I got it. Everything's. I mean, they can't see it all too well because I think it's because I was freaking decided to do the freaking on normal latency. If I just did the low latency, I think this might have been better. But my bit rate.
So is the bit rate is like that for everyone?
It's what's being shown. Yeah, the bit rate that I'm streaming is what's being shown. I'm pretty sure the audio's coming through just fine. Animus, you want to pull up the stream and see if you can't see if the audio's fine?
Let me see. I got it up right here.
Let me see. Am I coming through? Are we all coming through?
I mean,
I'm coming through.
You're registering on my machine.
Yeah. So are we in space or are we in cyberspace?
You talking about like so far as like the gay ass lore of the interwebers?
Yeah. What's the lore here? What's my motivation? What's my character? Are we role playing? What's my role playing?
Well, you're
am I on the internet right now?
But currently the world that we inhabit is Vapor's favorite place in the entire United States.
Wow.
We're in Jabuki land.
Oh no. We're in Jabuki, yeah.
I'm about to say bad words.
Jabuki land, which is a concept that was created by another YouTuber. Shout out to Tony Zarrett. Please don't copyright strike this video.
Oh, did he literally make Jabuki land?
Yeah, you made Jabuki land because he was parodying because a lot of YouTubers have videos where it's like, asking my immigrant parents about American things, and they'll fuck up and they'll be like, Dad, you don't know what a cigarette is, and he'll be like, I don't know what cigarette is, and so this guy Tony Zarrett, he makes like parody videos, came up with a fake place called Jabuki Land, and he's like, I'm telling my Jabuki Land dad about, God, I don't fucking know, but and it's literally just him playing himself, and then another like him green screened in with like a hat on or something, and it's I like Tony Zarrett. He's a funny guy. It's very like post irony, just like making fun of like memes and meme culture.
Post foods?
What now?
Sorry, when you said post, all I could think about is like the cereal brand.
Yeah, it's a very post.
The post-nuclear Holocaust after.
Yeah.
Ah, my favorite.
Yeah.
Does Post make Lucky Charms?
It's either that or Kellogg or something else. I don't know.
I think Kellogg, but what's this got to do with music again?
It's got it. Well, when I'm eating cereal, I feel very musical, and I feel like singing a song.
I'm gonna sneeze. Hang on.
Nice.
Excuse me. If anyone can't tell, on top of my internet just completely being garbage for things out of my control as usual, my health has also made a steep decline so far as getting a cold. So that's fucking great.
Man.
We're all dying.
I hope I don't catch a cold. I hope I don't catch a cyber virus.
I'm going to give you this.
Everything.
Oh. Also, if anyone hasn't noticed, because CC decided to call me Rogue Light, I decided to put on Rogue's hat.
Yeah. I saw that.
Fucking poser, dude.
How dare you stand? How dare you stand where he stood?
I built this place. I built this set. What the fuck? He didn't stand here.
You didn't.
I paid for this hat, motherfucker. He's got $35 of my money in his pocket. We'll give him that. I don't know how much to take up for merch on him. He's got my money in his pocket, fueling his like addiction to cornbread and like sad something. I don't actually know what he likes outside of Cracker Barrel.
A Mountain Dew, I think, but that was according to one of those guys that just came into the server and was like, I know Rogue personally, and you know what? He was my gardener, and he gave me free ice cream, and he, that kind of, those fuckers.
One day Rogue's like kind of slapped me on the ass, and I kicked him in the face, but then he just kept
that kind of shit.
One time he called me a retard, then put me and Cal in timeout.
Well, that just sounds like something that he actually would do and probably did.
That is exactly that did happen.
Yeah.
You're going to the gulag, brothers.
Yeah, we got put on ice for a little bit. But anyways, as we're up, I didn't even introduce what you guys were. So sitting over here we have Goodly Draws. That is the chunky monkey looking fellow with the silly hat. I want one of his hats. I might steal it.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, my still is very honest. I'm a fat neckbeard in real life, so I made myself a fat neckbeard with a funny clown hat.
And next to him, that would be VaporPony. He is I'm gonna call him a sound artist. I would say music, but it's. Oh, we got a subscriber. We have is a Molbean. Yes. Okay, thank you. Molbean?
Haha, we blowing up, baby.
I don't know about that one, but
yes, we is. We going to the top.
Remember, we got the bottom. Everything let's go climb. Anyways, so yeah, he is what I would consider a sound artist. I'm not entirely sure if I consider him a music artist. I'm still listening to his stuff, but he has recently released a new album. Would you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yes. So I have released a new album that was produced about 6 months ago.
And Kazoo just subscribed.
It's about Mario game.
Sorry.
It's about Mario gain. That's fine. It's about Mario gaining a divorce from Peach, and pretty much the entire album goes through a lot of emotions where he remembers like the good old times, and as the album goes on, it kind of devolves to him accepting what was happened, but yet still yearning for those days long gone. The album itself is based on a few albums I listened to. One of them was Scandalous by Neko Ferrero or something. I can't pronounce the last part. As well as works from Sheriff Mario RPG, which he's no longer around because he retired that persona.
I did not know that there was like a story in that album. I did like. You're being real with me, right? Like you're not fucking with it. Like there was a whole.
Yeah, the whole album is Mario wanting for Peach again, but knowing that it's never gonna happen anymore.
Oh, so it's like a concept album, kind of.
Yeah.
Huh.
If anyone's wondering, that is what I'm currently playing as the background music for this little thing. Mainly because this thing is What was the final finish time for the album itself? Do you remember?
Well, if you mean like how long this album was originally, it was originally at hour 30. But I took out a few songs because I didn't feel like it fit or wasn't good enough, so it got chopped down to 44. And then just because I could, I just threw in a last minute song in order to make a transition between like one of the songs to another one.
I get that. Okay.
There's cutting room floor content.
I mean, so far from what I've heard a little bit of your work into that. Do you do it more so as like a story like progression? As you try to like infuse a little bit of like emotion into it, the same way as any other like music artist does. I mean, what's a little bit of the process you go through in order to like create something?
Well, normally what I do is when I started making this, I had a list of like concept like ideas and stuff. I'm not sure I still have this list around, but basically what I do is I'm like, man, what's something I like that no one has made yet? And I look through the list, and then I just start to go to work and think of how can I make this sound like something, but it's not directly the thing I'm trying to make. Like I have one album called Faded Famicom Fondness, which was what I consider one of my best works, where I take like commercials, like a lot of old Japanese music, and I make it sound like Nintendo music, which was easy to do because a lot of the songs Koji Kondo took inspiration from sounds a lot like Nintendo music when you take the little bits that sound like it. And from there, I just try to recreate it as accurately as I can using that one sample.
Oh. Well, that's definitely something. So, Goodly, you draw, and so far
I do.
Like what you have is a webcomic of sorts. That's
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Because I'm having a hard time following it, but I'm also coming at page 37.
Yeah, it's kind of. I guess it is kind of hard to follow. It's very, it's a weird story. It's about this onion who's kind of a jerk, and he gets his couch stolen by this character called the Couch Potato Bandit, and he goes on a journey to get it back. And it's the story is still in its infancy, even though I've been dealing with it. I've been drawing it for, I don't know, 2-3 years. I don't thinking about it, but we're still in where we're at right now is him and his sister are in the middle of this this forest with a bunch of pumpkins in it, and the pumpkins have vines growing everywhere. And we've been in there for a while. There's a lot of shit that happens in it. There's a lot of just weird stuff. Yeah. It's a comedy, but it's also action adventure. Eventually I want to have fight scenes in it, animated fight scenes. But don't hold me to that, because I have no fucking idea. That would take a shit ton of time. It's just
You okay with there, Vapor? You cracking up, man? What's up?
Yeah.
Sorry. CAT said, I interviewed divorced plumbers to get inside a depressed Mario's headspace.
Yeah. That's good, yeah. You seem to have very much, you thought about this a lot, which I didn't really, because I just watched it and I was like, oh, it's like Mario. Huh, that's fun. I didn't know there was a whole ass, backstory and well, this part is about Mario being divorced, and this part is him accepting it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody. I feel like a lot of people, they have this big crazy thing they want to do, this big crazy story they want to tell, and sometimes it changes over time, and then some people don't do it, and I'm like, oh, you got to do it. You got to try it, man.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
So,
full cock.
Yeah.
Your art style. How did you develop your art style with the way you do your shading and whatnot?
Yeah. Well, basically what happened is I found Photoshop, and I kind of liked combining. I do traditional art and I do digital art, and one of the things that I learned in high school, I had an art class, and the art teacher was like, we're gonna learn about this thing called shading, and I was like, shading? What the hell is that? I don't want to do that. That's gonna ruin the image. And he taught me about cross-hatching, the teacher. And ever since then, I just putting a bunch of lines around the character to make a little, to make it looks detailed. It's got it gives it a texture, and I kind of just stayed with that. I like a lot of cartoony stuff, but I also like a lot of like weird, like I like a lot of Mario games. I like a lot of Nintendo games. I like a lot of the old, like not old, but like SpongeBob and Rocko's Modern Life, where things look kind of zany. But I'm also really into like Tim Burton. His like I love Nightmare Before Christmas, and I respect a lot of the stuff that guy does. But if you've ever seen his like sketches, like there's this big book of just all like the guy he made a bunch of like people just took all of his like scrapbooks and stuff that he made over time, and they just like compiled it into this big book of just like personal doodles that he did. And I love how like expressive they are and how simple they are, and how they're very like the way he does line work. It's very like sketchy and free, and I feel like my stuff is definitely like a little less like sketchy, but I do like to try and keep that kind of like like a little sketchy feel to it, if that makes sense.
Like if it's like all sharp and stuff.
Yeah.
I
was also somewhat like I was kind of inspired by like Mario Strikers. If you know the visual style for that, it's like the Mario characters, but then they have like they've got like the way they draw the lines where it's so like everything's like really jagged.
Love that. I fucking love that art style.
Yeah. I like things to have a little bit of, like a jaggedness and a crookedness to them. That's actually that page that you just put. You went on that one panel. That's actually I accidentally forgot that with that character he's got like one hand in his glove where the hand is exposed, and I forgot on that panel to do the glove. So that's a fuck up on my part.
Now the stream is actually like going like way like later. There's a lag. There's a considerable lag when it comes to way I stream. I'm actually on page 82 right now.
Oh, you're on page 82? Yeah. Where was that? What's going on page 82? Is that like the latest
last
one?
panel is when he's like breathing on fire, saying "Shut up."
Yeah, that fire. Yeah, the fire.
Spitting hot bars.
Yeah, I was reading some of the dialogue. Like some of the dialogue for some of this stuff seems kind of ham-fisted. Like it doesn't feel like it flows organically.
Oh, you don't think so?
Well, it might have something to do with it more. In fact, I'm starting right here at page 82, and I haven't gotten a grasp for the character itself. But it definitely feels like you're going for more like a PG aspect rather than anything more mature.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be like a somewhat family-friendly comic. Like, there's some things where like characters will say like crap or damn. But, it's not like there's anything that's going to be, like, super edgy in it. It's just like a silly it's a silly story, it does have, like, some moments in it that are, like, more, I guess, emotional. It's a big story that I wanted to tell, ever since, like, I don't know, 8 years ago. And there's a lot that goes into it, but... Well,
this is good.
Is that part?
Like, how did you come up with the concept for this? Like, it seems a little off the wall. You got little gopher people that are like some sort of scientists.
Yeah.
Right now you got a talking pumpkin. Like you said, you've been wanting to do this work on this for quite some time. How old were you when you came up with this concept, and where did it initially start?
I think I was like 25 at the time. I was like in college. Because in college, like I like a lot of stories that are zany and wacky. Like I play a lot of it's fitting that Vapor is talking about Mario stuff because I love a lot of the Mario RPGs. Because if you play any of those RPGs, whether it be like the Paper Mario ones or the Mario and Luigi ones, they're very silly and very goofy, and a lot of the things that happen are wacky. But in the story itself, like, they're very good at, like, this is a wacky story, but also there's a lot of stakes in it. Like, you know, you have Thousand Year Door where there's a demon attack at the end, or you have you know, Bowser's Inside Story where it's like, okay, you know, this is a silly world, but also there's like a pandemic going on at the beginning, and then you have to, you know, save the world and stuff like that. So I like combining the two, you know, like silly, but also, you know, there's like plot in it, you know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of okay, yeah. And I was trying to. You were asking me when I came up with the concept. I was in. Okay, like I said before, like there's always kind of been. I've always had this like big story idea where I'm like, oh, this is gonna be this big epic tale where it's, you know, it's silly, but there's a lot of, you know, cool actiony stuff that happens in it. And I was in college, and I had this whole story for like, oh man, you know, I met so many people in college. What if I make a big story where all of my friends are characters, and each character has their own art style, and they're, you know, there's all these different dimensions, and this is going to be a big thing. And this is actually this story was actually me cutting down from that, because I had this whole like, you know, oh, there are going to be 500 different art styles, and they're all interacting with each other. And then I was like, well, wait a minute, I only know like one art style, and I also don't have a fucking Netflix green light, so I have to scale down. And, you know, for some reason, Onions, there's this funny story I have where, when I was in college, I was kind of like, I'm a very like easily scared person, and I watched this like YouTube video or something where I was really like paranoid about it. And to fuck with me, one of my roommates, we just had like a big bowl of onions for some reason. The living situation wasn't that sanitary. We were fucking, we were college dipshits. And one of the roommates literally just put like an onion in my bed to like fuck with me. And I was like, who did this? Why did you do that? And none of them would like own up to it. They were all just like, oh, well, I don't know if I did it. Oh, it could have been somebody, you know. So after that, like, onions kind of became... Yeah, onions kind of became, like, a thing that I was like, oh, yeah, that's my thing. I'm, like, onion guy. And then I came up with, like, Bianco. Like, as an assignment for class, I just kind of drew this onion with, like, boxing gloves. And I'm like, oh, he punches. He's onion punchy guy. And Bianco's the name of the onion with the boxing gloves, if you've seen him. And then I was like, oh, well, what if I make a story about this guy, you know, instead of the big, like, multiverse thing that I wanted to do. And he's got his own world where it's like a Banjo-Kazooie world. Because I like drawing, like, cartoony stuff. And, you know, I just sort of went from there.
So you said your comic features multiple different types of art design?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying, it's kind of hard to like explain where Onion Punch came from. The Onion Punch has one art design. What I'm saying is the comic before Onion Punch that I really wanted to make had like 500 different art designs. But then I said, okay, well, wait a minute. I can only do one art design. I need to like scale back here. This is not, you know, this is not feasible. No.
Right, okay, alright. I'm sorry about that.
At one point I was going to make it an RPG, like one of the Mario and Luigi RPGs where there's all these like, you know, like attack commands and, you know, a really intricate battle system. Because I took like one class on game design and I was like, I could make a whole video game. I made a platformer, and the platformer was like, you know, almost like completely pre-programmed. And I spent a couple days like trying to make an RPG. I was like, you know what? I know how to do comics. I'll do a comic instead. And that's why Onion Punch is now a comic. Yeah.
That's pretty elaborate. Me and Animus, when we were in grade school, we used to try to draw a joint comic together. It was Dragon Ball Z based, and it was cringy as hell. But you know, what are you going to do when you're like 10 or 11 or 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, Vapor, you have a fucking comic. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but
I mean, the comic's not public, so I don't think we should.
okay, all right. I'm sorry if I put you on the spot, but
the strange horse adventures, the ones that are like not safe for younger viewers.
No, they're actually pretty safe. It's just
You had your horse character prying the wings off of a fallen.
Jesus. This is
no,
where.
See, that was just a concept album.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry
Pony.
if I outed your comic. I didn't mean to,
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Because that's where you get
So,
your
Pony,
horse
I had
character.
a-
wrong.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Go ahead, Amos.
Yeah.
So, Pony, I had a question because I haven't gotten a chance to hear your music yet. So, what would you say the core elements of your music are? What makes your music your music?
Whenever I make an album, it's not necessarily me trying to make something completely original. It's mostly just trying to give someone an experience of sorts.
Come on, get it out.
Like, and so when I made when I started making music the way I do now, my intent is to give someone a feel, basically try to help them understand what I feel and what these albums mean to me, and what the what the characters mean to me, like at the moment I made those things. Because
so keep going.
Because if I were to make something if I were to remake an album now, let's say my first album, it would not be the same thing as it was when I initially made it, and that's why a lot of my albums don't get remade.
Right. So, would you do you use synthesizers, or do you use samples? What type of instrumentation do you use?
I don't really use much instruments. I kind of just sample the whole thing. Whenever I do that, though, I try to use as little of the song as possible. And if you go through my discography, you notice how I use less and less of the song. And sometimes when I do that, it comes out really good, but sometimes it comes out really basic.
Okay, so you're like the what's his name? I think it's Nick Concierge. I can't remember his name. So you take things and you chop them up, and you kind of make something completely new out of samples.
Yeah, that's always my goal when I make this stuff.
He's like a YouTube poop creator for sound.
Yeah, pretty much.
But there's all this emotion that goes into it. You're making me kind of want to go back and listen to the Mario album again, see if I can, see all the stuff you're talking about in it.
Oh yeah, a lot of the song titles, they kind of tell you. The reason why I made part of them, part of the name's Japanese, is so that if people really cared, they look through it and see, oh, now it makes sense.
Well, I thought that was just part of the vaporwave aesthetic.
Yeah,
it's half and half. It reminded me of a certain other individual. I had the unfortunate. I met them on the internet. It was unfortunate. I had a fucking unfortunate occasion to run across. But no, your shit's way better than theirs, and if by some miracle of fate they're watching, he's better than you. Stop doing what you're doing.
I don't know who this guy is, but goddamn, you must suck.
I'm gonna tell him, hey, keep doing what you're doing and get even better.
No, that they're not. They're not.
Oh, well, what did they do to be so? What did they? Did they piss in your Cheerios? They pissed in your cornflakes? How they do?
How about
They killed my
I can
parents.
tell you who it is later, but they
Okay.
nobody wants to mention their name. Put it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
They did something horrible. I don't know the full story of this, but
Spazador.
No, I don't make music. I just pay or not pay friends who have that experience to do that. Yeah, Animus make music.
You tell people you'll pay them, and then you don't. That's how you do it.
Oh no, I'll pay them.
like-
It's just more in the lines of so far as like figuring out how much to pay them. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a rate. Everybody's got a rate, and then you got people like Helm. You cannot give them money. You could like staple it to their hand and they give it back to you.
Helm is such a nice guy. He is such a nice person. And I keep that's the thing is everyone in the servers Helm, you should don't do this for free. And he's like, I want to be everyone's friend. I want to make free art for everyone.
No,
it's you can't. That's admirable.
But at the same
you
time,
need to eat.
Yeah, we can talk further about that. But what I want to ask Pony is who did the album art?
It's a friend of mine. His name is Raccoon Senpai on Twitter. The album art's it's a funny story. The reason why the album was delayed for as long as it was because I commissioned him like a month or two ago because I couldn't figure out what to draw, and I wanted to really sell this to people. And well, he told me he had an idea to make a fisheye lens version of the album cover, which at first I thought, that could work. And then I looked at it, and the proportions were very, very off because he was trying to do that perspective by hand. And oh god, I was pissed because I'm like, oh god, this took a fucking week or two to make. And so I grabbed my hand and I just started scribbling out the sketch for the album cover, and I gave it to him and I said, just do it like this, please, for the love of God.
Sometimes that helps. That helps, just even if the sketch is not very good, having something to work off of is because I've done some illustration work, and that is literally what people will do is they'll have their sketch, and they'll tell me what they want it to look like, and then I'll just make that, but I'll amp it up,
Yeah, I got you.
You just tell them, make this, but make it good,
Digitize this.
Yeah. Put that, but instead of the stick figures, they're actual people. And I'm like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh shit, he got some not safe for work shit. Why didn't you tell me that? Ha!
What happened?
Well, it doesn't show anything in the thing. I went and looked at the link for the thing.
Yeah.
That you put the thing in in the little sidebar on Twitter, an upper sidebar. He's got the samples of what he's got uploaded, and some of it's some really compromising poses.
God. To be honest, I didn't know he was posting it on there.
Wait a minute,
he's got
a
two
raccoon
accounts, I guess.
I'm so sorry.
A raccoon furry that does NSFW art? I'm shocked. I'm surprised.
Speaking of raccoon furries, I want to give a shout out to our boy Nay. He is not with us tonight. He had surgery he had to go get done. So if anyone's listening, anyone cares, can I get a 1, 2, 3 in the chat for hoping he recovers?
Yeah, good luck, Nay. You're a good guy.
There we go.
And it's very sad. They had to get his asshole reconstructed.
Oh, I gotta do that too. 1, 2, 3.
Wrong person.
Oh wait, that's me.
Well, apparently that's a lot of us.
So,
Yeah, we're all sharing the same deal, though. Anyway, moving on.
nah,
Put a 1, 2,
he's got his quirks, but overall, I enjoy working with him when I can.
Yeah.
But
He seems like a fun guy to work with.
He's a fun guy.
I mean,
You know.
hopefully everything goes well. His recovery's speedy, and he's not, too terribly hurt. Or who knows? He might surprise the shit out of me. He might be coming on later on Nightcap.
Yeah, it'd be funny if like Nate comes like on stream and he's all of a sudden the Terminator.
Actually,
What? Like he's got the voice?
No, he's just a robot.
he's either a robot. And he talks in like a like it's like I'm near the gates.
Yeah.
I have the sex. Shut up, Raptor.
Dildos.
Let's take a look and see what we got going on the chat. Okay, we got a handful of 1, 2, 3s. That's real low level, but you know what? That'd be okay. I mean, we're not uber
Most of
popular.
the
We're kind of boring, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not boring. I'm a pretty fun fella.
No, you're great. You're great. That's why we've gotten you on a handful of times on a handful of other projects.
Yeah.
So always good to have on a little bit of Agent of Chaos, but not way too much chaos. You know how it is.
Yeah. Controlled chaos,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah, Pony, I had another question for you because I actually clicked on the link in the general and I listened to some of your stuff. How long does it take? How long does it take you to make an album?
That's a fun question. You see, back when I was starting, it'd be like a day by day thing. So like, if I were to make a song, like that's like, like 3 to 5 minutes, it'd be like 2 hours a song. But
Okay.
but now I do a lot of it in bulk. So I say like the longest, like the shortest amount of time I put together now, like half an album, would be under a week or 2 days.
Okay. That's nice. What music program do you use? I personally use FL Studio.
Audacity!
Audacity? Oh wow, that's awesome.
What?
That's pretty bare bones.
Yeah, man, I know. I always market myself as bare bones.
Yeah, that's awesome. So as far as like, do you ever add any like special effects or like anything like reverb or anything like that to your songs?
Well, it's funny you say reverb. Sometimes I do, but I don't really like reverb all that much, which is weird, because that's usually like a staple in vaporwave. Whenever I do use reverb, it's like I reverse the track, put the reverb in, and then like unreverse it, and then it's just like really like how do you say that, like a like that kind of sound.
It's like
Right.
it's
Okay.
like Russian Badger's new video to my he had one of his guys had like a soundboard, and one thing is like he could put things in reverse. He had like the sound of someone vomiting in reverse.
Oh God!
Yeah. Sometimes putting things in reverse completely like changes the sound. It like makes it, completely different. Like you ever hear bells backwards?
Yes.
It sounds weird.
Kinda, yeah.
Sounds great. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I got ink on my finger. Fuck.
Got 'em.
Ink.
Not ink.
What do I do with it? I don't know.
That's an epic Splatoon 3 reference. Ink.
But
No, I was
So,
messing with
like-
a little stamp I had on my desk, and I was like, "Oh wait, there's an ink well on the inside." And like, I'm put my finger in there. Oh shit, I got ink on my finger.
Wait, you got ink? You got an inkwell? What you writing shit with a quill?
No, I have a
Who the fuck has
stamp.
a
I have a
well here?
retractable paid stamp that has an ink well on the
Okay.
inside.
Stamp.
Oh, that's cool.
Trot. Stamp.
Paid. It's just for paying bills. You know,
So,
you're
yeah,
an adult,
like-
you have like bills stacked to the ceiling.
What the hell?
Yes,
What,
this is
being an
very
adult?
true.
Yeah.
I am an adult.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
so
yeah,
hang on a minute. Cal wants to know what's the dealio with the horse.
Well, the horse?
Yeah.
Oh, what about the horse?
Yeah, like you use some like here lately. You've been using the horse for like self-insert. Is there a reason that you chose a horse, or just the name, or what was the point of the name?
Well, originally I had a different name, but then I changed it, but I kept the horse thing. And you know, originally my channel was about Famicom stuff, but you know, I didn't really deal much with that, so I just decided, well, I post a lot of fucking Vaporwave here, might as well just change it to Vaporwave. I mean, VaporPony.
What the fuck is Famicom?
The horse, it's... Huh?
What's Famicom?
Japanese NES.
Yeah.
Oh, that was something.
You're trying to you're the one who told me about AVG, and you telling me you didn't know what the Famicom was?
You know how long it's been? You know how many things I've done? You know all the car crashes and accidents I've gone on my way to see? Okay, that last one was a little bit too much, and I don't actually do that. But yeah, I've seen a lot of shits happen since the last time I watched AVGN.
Yeah. He's a very old, you know.
He's balding.
Yeah.
He really is. I've watched his hairline start to draw back over the years.
He's got two kids.
Yeah,
what?
I'm a little late to the party, like I am with most things. But yeah, I remember back in 8th grade, Spaz was telling me about the Angry Video Game Nerd, and I never watched it. But I didn't start watching him until I was in college, and now I'm hooked. Like I put his videos on to go to sleep to every night.
That sounds.
So you and Spaz know each other?
Yeah, we're best friends in real life. Yeah.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah.
Yep.
AVGN is like he's like so corny, but he's almost so corny that it doubles back around and it becomes funnier because he is just like completely straight faced, being like, piece of shit, more like piece of ass. This game is a diary of dookie doo-doo shit. I'm gonna chug a beer and kill myself, or whatever he says. I love the AVGN.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather eat a rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comes
yeah.
Some of his content nowadays, he's gone on record in the last past year and said that his content has taken a steep decline so far as how he used to do shots and whatnot, just for sheer fact of not having the time of to set up cameras and lighting and things of that nature. It's a lot. Hey, thanks Raptor for scratching, but where was that? Oh yeah, so basically he has just his couch set up. He has just his couch set up, and that's pretty much it so far as that in the gameplay. And he's got it makes sense, especially when you start to have kids. Reach a certain age, they get into your shit. They get all into your shit. You can't do hardly a damn thing anymore.
Yeah.
But
Daddy, what are you doing? Nothing.
I still salute him for continuing to make content.
Eugene is really dedicated to making his content, and I admire that about him. And I understand having the kid that's really hard to control sometimes. They're young kids. They're young kid stuff.
Yeah.
I don't personally mind this kid, wanting to be on stream and hooping and hollering and yelling and whatnot. I've actually gotten over that as I've started to have my own kids. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some things just can't be helped. Like you said, they're gonna pry into your operation. They're gonna get into your stuff. It's just a byproduct of having a child.
Huh. If you want to create stuff, sometimes you just have to don't stop creating because life gets in the way. You gotta make time for it. And if that means your kid is screaming in the background, well, your kid's screaming in the background, I guess. Well,
who knows? When they get a little older, maybe they might be able to help out, depending on what kind of content.
Yeah, they might. Yeah. hold the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I don't foresee my kids helping me with this content because this is way too freaking weird to make into anything marketable. In fact, I'm pretty sure all of my videos and streams are age restricted because our target our analytics say we're from like the age range of 18 to 40, which is the target demographic for this kind of content.
Honestly, that's this and that's the whole of the eco server. It's like there's like 25-year-olds to like 50-year-olds, and it's like, you know, weird range, but you know, we're all adults mostly, so like, at some point, like the older you get, it's just like, whatever, you know. It doesn't matter.
We're all getting older, and the world is in a state of chaos, as it would be.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
We're getting older, the world is getting scarier, and, you know, you just look back at things, you realize that, you know, Filthy Frank, his channel was, like, lost, like, 8 years ago, and you're like, really, 8 years ago? Jesus Christ, I feel old, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it was just yesterday. I was actually watching one of his videos yesterday. But yeah, no, it's it happens. It's
a little scary. It gives you a shock, kind of. I remember seeing a meme where it was like, you know, what you think The Legend of Zelda was 20 years ago, and it was a picture of like Link to the Past where it's all pixelated. And then the next panel was what it was actually like 20 years ago, and it was just Wind Waker. And I'm like, oh God, you know.
Yeah.
I still remember. I remember when I bought it for GameCube, and when I bought it for GameCube, it was already pretty old. It had been out for probably like a year or so. But
that's the thing.
I was stuck.
Oh, sorry.
I got stuck on like the first dungeon, and I thought I was a kid. I thought I was so far in the game, but I remember a girl I was seeing at the time. I was telling her about it, and she was like, "That's the first dungeon."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, I played for hours to get there. Are you telling me this the first dungeon? She's like, that's the first dungeon. I'm like, fuck!
Man, that girl looked at you and made fun of you and your penis, because look at him, guys. He can't even get past the first dungeon.
No, but I mean, that's being a kid, though. That's just like, you spend so much time on the first level. I can't tell you how many games that I've, like, never even gotten past the first level in. Like, I remember playing Rayman for, like, the PS1, and that forest level, like, that to me is Rayman. I remember, like, a few years back, I got to level 2. All the nostalgia was, like, sucked out of the game, because I'm like, what the was this Music Notes land? I was never here. Fuck this.
I've never made it past the forest level.
I mean, I didn't beat Kingdom Hearts until my freshman year of high school. In fact, what? Spaz had.
I
did not.
Before you.
Yeah, way before. Because that's the thing. As a kid, I didn't fucking read anything.
Well,
I wasn't reading all these.
This doesn't make any sense. You said you didn't read anything. I couldn't read anything. What do you mean?
Well, that's the thing. Like, whatever you were equipped, you might not have been reading, but you were equipping items that made yourself better. I was not reading, and I wasn't equipping shit. So Sora was still weak as fuck and getting his ass like one-shotted by like the later bosses. But yeah, I don't know if you remember or not, but I think it was like I think it might have been 6th grade, and maybe it was 5th grade. You actually had to give me a memory card with a level 100 save, so I could experience the end of the game.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was.
So you were running around whacking things with like the Kingdom key, like the very first key in the game. You
exactly.
Different ones.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. Exactly right. So yeah, Spaz had to give me the memory card. So technically, I beat it in quotations in like 5th or 6th grade, but like that was with help. It was a level 100 save, and I was destroying everything. But I didn't beat it myself until freshman year of high school.
Okay,
don't you see?
Like, talking about like on the passage of time. Like last year, Kingdom Hearts, this year or last year, Kingdom Hearts had its 20-year anniversary. And you look back, like, that was 20 years. We were like freaking 8 and 7 years old when this thing came out.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Oof.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I still remember when the commercials were on and the Simple and Clean remix was playing on the TV, and I remember singing it at my cousin's house and being excited for the game. But like, I didn't even have a PS2 yet. I wouldn't have a PS2 for probably like the next 2 years. But
because the thing is, I remember seeing it and I did not give a shit about it. Like, I played on after House of Mouse or something, because, like, you know, I watched the Disney Channel and it's a Disney game, so it was on there. And I didn't give a shit about it until I saw Sora, Donald, and Riku in their like Halloween outfits, and they were like walking towards the big tree house in The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I told myself, okay, now I have to get this because I am a slut for that movie.
Yeah,
there's a new
got me
Hearts
like the
trailer.
music.
How?
No,
like,
this was
how,
the
how,
so
no,
like,
no, 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 freaking freaking Raptor
He's
in
talking
the
to the
chat.
chat.
Yeah, like how new is it? Because I'm not waiting until 2030 to play this shit. I'm not, like I said that's time beforehand. I'm not waiting. I'm an old man. I can't keep going on adventures with Pooh Bear.
Yeah.
Oh, bother.
Maybe my kid might like it.
Yeah. You're gonna do that thing where you want to play it, but you're too embarrassed to play it, so you're gonna push your kid onto it and be like, "Hey, you might like this game a lot. You like this game a whole lot."
I don't
Daddy,
know.
I don't like Disney.
I don't. Well, no, he likes some Disney properties. But he's like not even 2 yet, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly what he likes. He's just now starting to get a grasp of like words and meanings and whatnot. But he's getting like he might enjoy playing games? He has tried to play Minecraft. He has tried to play Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you know the two genres.
Well, yeah, the
Minecraft
two
and Red Dead.
genders, Minecraft and Red Dead.
You're all right, boy. I'll kill you.
Yo, so
Come on,
Pony.
it's just a tip.
So Pony, before I forget, because I am a fan of sampling, because I listen to a lot of like hip hop that use samples from like jazz and like, you know, just so many genres. And I'm also into I just completely lost my train of thought.
Wait, you into
there's this guy named Jay Dilla. He's deceased now, rest in peace. But anyway,
oh shit.
he made a hip hop album, and it's basically he's taking all these different samples and he's chopping them up, and like we were talking about before, he's making completely different songs out of all these samples. So that's kind of what got me into it. So and it led me to think of a question for you. What is like the most amount of samples you've used for like one song?
Oh, buddy, do I have a fucking story about that? Okay, so when I was making the Faded Famicom album, which again, my favorite, my best at work, I took all the songs I made up to that point for this album and mashed them all together. And then I took that, and then and then this album had like a sequel called Super Famicom Fondness BS. I took all those songs, which by the way, Super Famicom Fondness is like 2 hours long. So I took all those songs, including the other album, and I put it together to make like the second to last song, and all it is a bunch of noise.
Oh wow! So you deal with a lot of samples.
Yeah.
That sounds like the closest thing I think you've made to a YouTube poop. It's literally just like a bunch of songs, like all on top of one another.
Pretty much, yeah.
That reminds
I kind of
me
want to hear that, but
came on a while back.
I don't want to hear that. What?
When you say like a bunch of stuff piled on top of each other, it reminds me of Okay, so I recently discovered Bass Young.
Yes, the tattooed scalp man.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking chill. I enjoy his content. I see why Rogue liked him.
Yeah.
And he did this thing on one of the Cyrax streams where like Cyrax started watching his stream. And so he started watching Cyrax stream, watching his stream, and he just created this really big torrent of sound for like 10 minutes straight. And I was like,
sounds like an album.
Right, it was like 7 or 10 minutes straight, and I thought that was hilarious. The fact, and I was like, that would be one way to like troll a troll is like because like some people don't give a shit like us when it comes to like completely turning our turning the stream into just nothing but a freaking joke. And for me, it would be so funny if somebody like streamed this stream to stream their stream and just like go around in like an endless loop, like an Ouroboros, and see how long we can tolerate it at max volume before our brains start hemorrhaging.
It's like when you put two mirrors in front of each other and you like angle it so that you get that weird like, oh my god, it's infinite kind of thing.
Yeah.
like Caleb City time loop.
Hey, have you ever done an interview? Wait,
get out!
Have you two seen Caleb City?
I haven't, no.
What is the Caleb City? Is that something Kelp walks on?
No. When we get ready to wrap up the question and everything, we'll introduce you guys to the Caleb City. He does like little short videos on YouTube, and they're just like it's just like Eddie Murphy type stuff where it's just him like talking to himself. He's the only actor that has multiple like people on screen or at a time.
Wait, is he?
Yeah, and it's like, and the topics are usually like video game or anime based.
Okay.
Like one of the jokes he had when doing like superhero interviews, and one of them was like, "What's your power? I can make cats fight." And it was like, "What? To the death if I want." And he snaps his fingers. You hear it, cats fighting somewhere. And it's like, whose cats are those? The real question is, who's gonna come out on top?
Who's gonna win?
I think I have heard of that guy. Yeah, I think I was introduced to him by somebody on the other server. Yeah, he's funny as shit. Is he the guy who did the one where it was like all of the insects being interviewed, and it's like an ant is like, I clean up, and then the bee is like, oh, I make honey, that's what I do, and then it gets to the wasp, and the wasp is just like, I just fight people, I just fuck people up, that's all I do.
Yeah. That was Caleb City.
Yeah.
I like the anime one where like he's like the anime protagonist is overpowered. People keep fucking with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a lot of funny videos.
So for another question, where do each of you see yourselves going in the future so far as your content? I'm going to start with Pony first.
Well, okay, ideally, this is what I want for my music. I want, every time I make an album, I'm gonna think of it as my last, because there's been a few times where I'm just like, fuck all this. No one cares about divorces, and Mario's getting divorced. And, some...
Feel that.
but like, lately, with the way, like, the views have been stacking, and this is just me feeling like there's still more I can do and say. I might keep going with it, and hopefully maybe I can muster like a audience of like 20 people at least, and that'll be enough for me, because I don't want to be popular, because I don't want Nintendo on my ass. I don't. I like the underground, and I don't want people like expecting me to be this perfect little fucker. I always hate it when people do that shit to people. And and that's how you get like a fucking disappointed when those people that you idolize aren't exactly who they are.
Yeah. It's like, oh my goodness, he said a swear. Kill him.
Well,
Exactly.
The only way
he said the R word.
The only way you'll get around that is if you be 100%. Like, yeah, you can put on the mask, You can be whoever, you can be Dream, but don't be fake. That's it. He's like, that's what the point of the mask is. Because you're so... fucking shoot me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, hopefully... I mean, I don't want to wish that you, like... I mean, I don't want to wish for you to not have any growth. But it would be nice for you to not have to deal with Nintendo's bullshit. Because they're so very strict about everything. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the internet's checkpoint. But, there was a video on YouTube. I believe it was a Donkey Kong song that was put on loop, and
it was Vine,
and it had like
something like Vine.
Yeah, it was like it was like a bunch of vines interwoven together over like the sky, like the blue sky was like the backdrop, and like everyone across the world was using that comment section to list checkpoints in their life. They would start every comment off with checkpoint, and then they'd say what they were going through. And like, you know, whether it's real or fake, you know, some people like had some really intense stories and were going through some real stuff, and it was like a place for everybody to meet and just post their checkpoint. Well, Nintendo took that video down.
Oh Jesus!
Wait, what's
the video that
probably.
Was that
Nintendo has no honor. I just want to say this because this relates a little back to my stupid album about Famicoms. That was those albums were made with the love of Nintendo, and I just want to say Nintendo has no honor, and it died when Iwata did.
Oh shit!
I feel like they were still copywriting stuff when Iwata was around.
Yeah, but at least they were fun.
Yeah, I mean, I still like Nintendo. I'm a bit of a Nintendrone, whatever you want to call it. Not that I don't criticize.
Oh yeah, I still like Nintendo too.
Oh no, I'm not saying I don't like them. Like I play Splatoon regular. Yeah. It's just
all they had to do to make me happy is announce that Pikmin 4 is coming at some point. That's all they needed to do. I'm like, oh, thank God the series isn't dead. I can throw funny plant people.
Yeah, that series is not gonna die because Miyamoto loves to shove those Pikmins right up there.
I don't think he shoves it in people. I mean, he clearly likes it, but the thing is, it's not exactly like when you think of Nintendo games, you don't think of Pikmin as like the first pickings. You know, it's not gonna be. Like, you know, there's the Nintendo Land at fucking Universal, and if they ever start adding, like, other properties other than Mario, Pikmin is not going to be the first one that gets representation. It's going to be like Pokemon or Legend of Zelda. Like, it's not as absurd as it used to be, but it's getting up. It's kind of like, it's the oddball sort of thing.
Well, yeah, but, you know, as long as it's tied to Miyamoto, that thing's not going to die.
No, thank goodness.
You can't say the same for Devil's World, but you know.
What's Devil's World? Is that the
Don't
old?
worry about it.
Okay. Is that the old game, like where you're running around and like the devil is like pointing his finger and?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. I think I played that once.
Oh, I love that one. But you know what I just realized?
What?
We didn't ask you where you see your stuff going, Goodly.
Yeah, I was waiting for a good point to ask that. That's a good point as any.
I don't know. The future scares the shit out of me. I don't know where I'll be, but I'd like to. At some point, I would like to, you know, have a Patreon for my comic. I'd like to, you know, not make it my main source of income, but just, you know, have it be, you know, I guess like more. You know, like people are watching it. I have a Discord. I'd like to like make a little community, you know, around the story. I'd also just like to get at this point, like I want the story to keep going. You know, like I'm going at kind of a slow pace, and I'm not really sure if I'm going fast enough, but I'm going at my own pace. I just want. You know, Bianco and all of them to get out of the forest and for me to be able to move on to, like, Chapter 2 or whatever. That's what I want.
Yeah, I remember you saying something more along the lines of like introducing like other groups and other species that have they have like certain dialects in Newspeak. Like they all speak in a certain way.
Yeah.
I was noticing that when it came to like the plant people and the way that the bubbles were the blurbs were portrayed between different species. How like the little gopher people, they have theirs, and it's like it's in like a metallic color, like a bright metallic color, like sparkles and shit on it.
Because the lemming people, they're called the lemmings, and the lemmings are all about like being super polite and being super clean. Everything needs to be clean. So their speech bubbles have like little sparkles coming off of it, and they're super white. And they're also like, I made my own font. I made multiple fonts for the comic because I'm really into it. But for the lemmings, like they're very like sterile. So I literally just made. Like, I just used, I don't know what the name for the font is, but it's just like a boring-ass, like, straight font.
It's like Arial, just...
Yeah. Arial font, yeah. As opposed to, like, I haven't shown a lot of the clowns yet, but the thing, like, the two big groups in the story are going to be the lemmings, who are super clean and into being polite, and then there are the clowns, which are the exact opposite, where they're like, throw trash on the ground and kill people, push an old lady down the stairs because it's funny,
This sounds
That's
hot.
their whole thing. Yeah, and their speech bubbles are gonna have like fingerprints all over them, and it's gonna be like hopefully not too hard to read, but I like making distinction. I want it to be so that if a character is not in a panel, you can tell who is speaking by their speech bubble. That's why I did that. Like each character has their own color, and some of the species have their own types of speech bubble.
Yeah. I find myself wanting to like do some like really like stupid shit, like wanting to make an extended universe built off of Rogue's bullshit. But it's one of those things to where like how far do you go? Like how much fanboy do you put into yourself? Like beyond that, just like more lines of worrying about ourselves. When somebody had posted that I was killed in Brazil from being shot in the back of the head, and I was like, yeah, that totally happened. It totally did happen. I thought to myself like, wait a minute, what if that did happen? And it's like, well, who did it? And it's like, I did it, of course. And it's like, what do you mean? I'm still here. That means I did it. So there's like, in my mind, there's a bunch of just me's running around killing each other. Like, like either some Rick and Morty shit, or probably more aligned to Sheriff from the Squidbillies. Like when he's sitting there eating cotton candy, and another one of him posts behind like, hey, how's it going? And I'm okay. And he bashes the back of the head and takes his place.
Didn't they like explain like the Van Halen guy, like the Mr. Burns that
in a crop.
was like growing him?
Yeah,
he was growing him in a corn crop. Yeah, and they all like is the rule of that show like there can only be like one alive one on screen and then the other one takes its place?
Yeah, like there can be one at a time except for the small one that has like has a mutation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that his part? Is that his partner? Is he like a main? It's been a while since I've seen Squidbillies.
Yeah, he stays around. He stays around.
Okay. Yeah.
Guys, squids have two assholes.
Oh, why?
I hope they don't.
I hope they don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna answer why.
When is there gonna be an epic
I'm gonna play Bussin' just for you, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Whenever I hear the word squids, I think of Platoon now, because that's all people in Echo talk about is like Splatoon 3. It's like Vapor and Duck and Kazoo and Alex are all like, oh, let's go meet at the Squilted Towers and ink some people. I don't know. I've never played Splatoon.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's like.
So
it's one of those marks to where you definitely feel like you're out of the loop when people say, "Hey, let's go do X." And you're like, "I don't know what that is."
Yeah. I feel like that a lot. I've got a lot of moments like that. my interests are very my interests are very like insular and like I don't know. I'm not good at branching out, I guess.
I get that.
Yeah, I had a new question I thought up for both of them.
What?
Say it.
Okay, so Goodly, do you have like any type of like pre-drawing ritual? Do you have anything like that you do to like perhaps maybe get you in the mood to do some work?
Not really, to be honest. My schedule with my process for making the comic is pretty all over the fucking place, and there's probably like it's not a good, process either, because if I'm drawing something, I am probably watching a YouTube video or listening to a podcast, and I'm also probably checking like my phone for like, oh, I wonder what's on Discord. So I'm very distracted whenever I draw, but usually what I try to do, like what the process is I try to write down a script, and I try to write like what's happening and what are the characters doing, and then I try to like draw the page a couple times, because with a comic page you've got to like make sure like that's sort of the challenge of a comic, is you're not just drawing something, you also need to make sure like each picture like fits into a page and it looks right. And then, then I just go from there, and I have like 500. I think I showed Helm, like, because I do it in Photoshop, and there's like 500 different layers, because I just lose track of, like, usually, like, I'll try and sketch a layer, but then the sketch layers will be like 5 things a layer,
Okay. So your process is more of a comfortable setting versus a like hyper focused. You're sitting at that table staring down at the page. You like just
probably what I should be doing, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just kind of like, oh, whatever. I'll watch this last podcast on the left podcast as I'm drawing Funny Onion Man. Hopefully that doesn't bleed into the story. But.
I'm going to ask you. None of our content is on your watch list, is it?
No, it is. I'm sorry. It is. I feel kind of shitty for being on here, because I've just been like, Interwebbers is not that great. It's mid. I really don't like how they talked about. Rogue wanted to like disappear, and they're just talking about Wendy, and then you like DM me like just in the middle of the night, like, do you want to talk about Onion Punch? I'm like, yes, I want to shill my shit. I'll come right immediately.
Oh yeah, you're gonna come.
Yeah, I'm gonna come.
Oh, so you came immediately. You came immediately, huh?
Yeah. I was like, oh, somebody cares. Oh.
Look at this way. Okay, I'll be honest. And it might put a little like A or whatever on me, or a target on my head or whatever. It's like, Rogue's coming back. We already know that at some point. He said he's gonna come back, but my wife was under predisposition that he wouldn't even be gone forever because of his personality. Back when he even first started. Yeah.
Rogue needs the shekels. That's the thing. Is like, I don't know if I don't want to get too much into that, but I feel like because he says, I'm doing it for fun now, and maybe he is just doing it for fun, and good for him. But I feel like he needs the money. He is, and I mean, I don't fucking blame him. If I could just sit down and just bullshit, and people throw $500 at me, I would do that too. I mean, you
naked rogues in the YouTube showers of Susan Wojcicki.
You listen to people in the eco server, right? Because they're like, there's a rogue discussion, channel, and people are literally like, oh, I'm gonna make up for lost time. I'm gonna give him $500. I'm gonna give him $800. And if that was me, I can say, I could be like, oh, well, he said he wasn't coming back, and now he is. Oh, that's not. You can't trust him. You can't trust that guy like that. But yeah, I would hop on that immediately if people were going to give me their life savings, because it's been 5 months.
On their knees, waiting to suck rogue cock.
Yeah.
Let's not all kid ourselves. Let's not all kid ourselves. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
So, Pony, I'll extend that same question to you that I asked Goodly about the process or the rituals.
Okay, here's what happens. I wake up, I beat my dick, turn my laptop on, and just start making music.
Okay.
That's literally it. The only other part of this process is like, man, how can I make this sound good?
Right.
Damn. No.
As far as like while you're.
Damn. Go ahead.
Yep.
Nah, you go ahead. You go for it.
No, like hearing how people get their groove on their processes and like just getting to work. It makes me feel like I may be working a little too hard. And the worst part about being creative or trying to be creative or even halfway creative is how do you make the maximum output? Like, do you do it for quality or quantity? And
Yeah.
I keep finding, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I keep finding myself into that freaking spiral of I should just burn down this fucking channel and just run away.
Yeah.
But at the same point in time, I know, like, well, for one, it's not just my channel. I mean, I may be the fucking guy that set everything up, but I like I said at the beginning, I'm trying to make it where it's not just mine. It's part of like our contingency plan to have like to where if something were to happen to me and CC or anybody or like who the ship can't just stop and whatnot. So
Yeah.
Someone else can take up the mantle.
yeah,
Right.
Well, what I will say to that is that, sometimes it is, I definitely have that feeling where I will go back and forth between I'm not putting enough effort into my comic or I'm not putting enough effort into my, whatever I'm doing, and then I'll flip and I'll be like, well, what if I am putting too much effort, and what if I just need to shit out as much content as possible, and maybe that's how I'll get it. And I feel like I am in a weird, like, middle ground right now. You feel like you're just stuck in, the middle of mediocrity. And what I will tell you is, if you want to, like, burn down the channel, I don't think you have to burn down the channel, but if you want to change shit, you should change shit, however, and what I will say is, make it different. Make it as unique and different as possible. Make it as far away from, because I know, it's no secret that you're like, you're basing it off of Rogue shit. I mean, hey, Kit did that, Eugene did that, but like, see if you can find something that's like, what is something that will make it stand out and be different from that,
Right.
Have me on.
Right.
well, that's kind of what I'm doing with this interview here, because having I like doing this interview content because it's good to have fresh faces on. You can always talk about, you can ask the same damn questions and get 1,000 different answers.
Yeah, and depending on who's asking the questions and all that stuff. I mean, because this, the way I view this, and I think the way you view this is, it's like, it's basically like it's like a third grade talent show where it's not going to be necessarily as good as the guy we're copying, but it's for the community more than anything. It's like showcasing, hey, this guy does this, hey, this guy does that. The 5 people that like him are going to come on the stream and be like, yay, you're on a stream, that kind of thing.
Well,
and hopefully the bigger you get, the
time, like talking about like it's not going to be the same as like say Rogue stuff. And there's a main reason behind that, and it might have to do with the fact that aside from the stills, it's a one dude operation.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, but that's what I kind of like. The thing that I was excited for about it is that, like, we as a community, we have a lot of talented people, and if we were able to like harness all that talent and like collaborate on a big thing, we might be able to make something interesting.
Harvest all the autistic energy.
Yeah. I mean, there's
every chromosome.
Yeah.
It's like, what
I mean, you look at all the shanties in the.
Yeah, I want to have more more than just this. That's why when we're trying to get the nightcap going, I want to have more than this. I want to have like for the people who are in our in our circle, in the inner circle and whatnot. I want to have a variety of content, and the only way we're going to do that is we have varying personalities. I want to get Mima her own show for something that's like a chill, a feel good stream. You just sit back, you talk, you do a few a few shits and shits giggles and whatnot, for maybe an hour and 30 minutes, because that's a decent amount of content. And if I was able to, if I can get this to where other people can get this, I can step back from doing this as much, and I could just work on other content. We have a few video concepts and ideas that I'm trying to work with Helm on. I gotta write a script. I gotta check if I can actually say Bajuki Land without getting copyright claim now. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
Bajuki Land.
It's not real. This is the thing, is you just thought it was a weird thing that somebody made up in the server, but it's like, nope, it's a 50-50 whether or not things said in there are completely made up or they're just a reference to another thing.
Bajuki Land's not real.
I mean, I came up with a somewhat original concept when it came to the gay lore of all of this. It's one of those things where to do something like this, to do something like Onion Punch, to do something like your music pony, you have to start off. You have to be a fan of what you have to be into what you're gonna do. Yeah. And
because sometimes at first you're gonna be the only fan,
Yeah, and I feel like that's the majority of what the problem is, to a certain degree, is trying to overcome the self-doubt that comes with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of people have said this, and that's one of the things that I kind of took away from, Rogue and fucking, so a lot of the people on there is that they say, hey, if you have a passion project, don't try to go out of your way to make it your main source of income, because then, you're not gonna enjoy it, and the passion for it is gonna become a job, and then you're gonna hate it, and then people are gonna see the decline in content. People are gonna see this guy's not as passionate about it. This isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, you'll basically become Dylan Thomas.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be like, oh guys, fucking Linkara, he's just as interesting as Chris Chan, and people are like, no, everything about Linkara is boring. Shut the fuck up, Dylan. I actually didn't mind the Linkara thing, but I kind of wanted him to read more of the Lightbringer, but apparently I was the only one.
It's me, the Lightbringer.
That's basically I would never, ever want to make this my source of income, because I would be fucked 7 ways till Sunday. I would be fucked beyond all belief. And the job that I have, the only problem I have with the job that I have is its intrusion into my life itself. I went to a meeting the other day, and they have a chaplain service. They have a freaking chaplain. This company is so all-encompassing that they literally can set funds aside to bury your ass if you ask. And
what the fuck? What is a chaplain service? Is that like
a church?
Oh. So you go to work, and then do you worship God at this church, or do you worship the corporation that you're working for at this church? You're gonna worship. Yes. You're gonna worship the Pillsbury Doughboy. You're gonna worship the Ronald McDonald.
Well, no. So this size of this company is really large. I'm going to say it's freaking it's freaking sugar water. You can probably do a guess of what that. Not dox myself too hard. It's sugar water. You can probably guess what it is. But the thing is that
I forgot. I know what it is. You told me about this. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But their mission statement is to serve God in all they do, and it's that was number one. I had a problem when I started the job a little bit. Is that I felt like that maybe if everybody worked to a certain standard, they'd be better off. But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Who knows? I might not even be there within the next year. I could go back and do something a little more meaner labor. But hell no. The way my resume looks, I would not make YouTube my sole proprietor for shit. In fact, I find it hard to sometimes even pull this little 2-hour thing out of my ass. Unfortunately, I haven't had time to make bumps for how busy I've been getting everything else right. How do I do super chats? Keter, if you want to send in something I had a thing up here, but I don't know where it went. In the description below, there is a link to the Streamlabs bullshit. That's wherever. We have to beat. Spazky Symphony. I have been ignoring chat, just ranting on for a little while.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we were talking about Rogue or something. I forget what the context was.
Yeah, I went off for a little bit. Anyways, there's no reason to even contemplate making this any source of income to anything but pocket money. And for me, every time someone says something about money, I think back to Metalocalypse when Pickle the drummer choking out his brother says, "For once, it's not about the money."
Yeah.
Because
at 64, shit.
Trying to just toss just give it away, just get it away, and
I'd choke my brother too if he was constantly in my ear asking, "How about I get 4 or 500?" Just all up in my ear asking me for money and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd also would do the same, but I can't because that's my father.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. But yeah, of course. I mean, I don't do this for the money at all. I don't give a shit about the money. I do this because, one, I feel I want to be more productive. I saw this as a way of being more productive. Keeping myself to a schedule. And I moved far away from Spaz, and I don't get to see him very much anymore. And I thought this was just perfect to I get to interact with my best friend once a week, and it's really fun.
I used to have oh sorry.
Nothing. That's just you said what you were gonna say.
What I said is I used to have on my channel I had a series. I say series even though it was 2 or 3 videos of just me talking to my one college friend about certain things, and I was really lazy about content, so it never really went anywhere. But yeah, I can definitely understand finding an excuse to do that.
I'll give Vapor $10 to scream into the mic.
Oh, don't do that.
If you know what, for 12, I will turn his volume up as loud as I can in the Discord chat.
I might have to turn the volume all the way down because I'm not wearing headphones, and there's other people in the house. I'm gonna hear about this.
Wait, who's mic getting turned up?
Ketter wants Vapor to scream into the mic. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the question too with that. How long do you want him to scream for? And if you give it to me, I will give it to him if he doesn't.
Look, I know this is a small stream, and I know I've gone on about this before, but you guys gotta have better prices for this shit. It doesn't have to be in the hundreds, but all I'm saying is $50.
No.
$50.
Goodly.
Look, that would be crazy. Okay, we don't get on here and try to do until I finish.
Have some integrity, man. Have some integrity.
Listen, Gully, with $10, that's like
The whole-
10,000 pennies.
Isn't the whole fucking
Ketter,
point?
have you just depends. Have you just started? How
long have you been
close
edging,
are
Ketter?
you? Do we need to go under the table and do a little feel your temperature a little bit? See where you're going.
No. Ketamine says until he wants him to scream until Ketamine finishes.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm,
we don't know.
saying.
What we're talking
Yeah.
about right now. We're asking how far along he is. Like, how long you been doing this?
Have you been edging for 2 hours?
Oh,
Now he wants to buy you.
because I mean, that's how that's how you're supposed to do it.
Ketter, this is not an auction. We're not auctioning off livestock.
Actually, you know what? For 2,000, he's yours. Put
Oh,
up
no,
2,000, pussy.
You can't sell Mexicans to him.
I can't sell the horse people anymore, Animus. The IRS said no.
God damn it! Fuck the IRS. I still haven't paid my taxes.
Oh no.
No.
They're
We're
going
not
to
gonna
send. They're
talk
going,
about
and you're associated with me. They're going to send the ATF to your house to kill you for maybe a short-barreled shotgun that does not exist.
Yeah, you're gonna kill yourself with 5 rounds to the back of your head.
Hopefully not.
We're gonna go out. We're gonna go out in a blaze of glory, similar to the people in Waco. Except I'm not gonna be marrying underage women.
Yeah. We're the cult
And I'm
of,
not gonna.
We're the cult of friends.
What does it buy for the colored one?
You can't have him. I've already bought him. I've more than paid for my share of blood for his friendship.
Wait, who paid? You paid for who now? What did you pay for?
Hot dog.
CC wants to take Animus, and I was like, no, you can't have him. I paid too much blood for him.
Oh no! Oh God! Oh, this is fucking.
Oh wait, is that who
Can't
Ketamine
believe
is?
We're auctioning
Oh
off,
wait, no, Cece just.
Jesus Christ! This is,
we're
yeah.
auctioning off people in the horses.
Wait, 1,005? Is he talking about me?
Yes.
Yeah. He's talking. This is I don't know. I probably should have thought about this. So, like, come. I'm gonna advertise my somewhat family-friendly comic on this god-awful show where CC does what he does. You know.
Well, you already knew CC was associated with all this, man.
He is. He was on here. He's on here a bunch of. I mean, this is the thing is I watched the Donkey Kong video.
That was the worst one.
I feel like that was the best one.
That was the worst one.
It was the worst one, but it was the funniest one, though. It was,
CC said the N-word.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't say that. I would never be associated with anything like that. Yeah. This is the worst thing is that he said it and then he tried to be like, no, I didn't say that. CC will just do that, where he will do an awful fucking thing, and then we'll like call him out, and he'll be like, no, that didn't happen. I'm like, Jesus.
I honestly wish he'd say it more. I thought it was awesome.
Okay, do you give him the pass?
Oh hell yeah, CC's my.
Okay.
No, that was in the
homie,
recording.
man.
That was in the recording. He gave him the pass as soon after he said it.
It was a lot. There were a lot of things that were said.
Yeah, because everybody was freaking out, and I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
This shit was cool.
Man, I can't believe CC is a neo-Nazi.
You can't believe. Oh.
CC.
Nah, I feel like CC got some black in him.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm black too, so like we know these things.
Yeah.
Is that why he's never around?
Damn.
We've shed so many. I'm gonna say we shed so many viewers that we're like down to just like CC and Ketamine now.
Yeah. Ketamine's a good
Which is
smoke.
their loss, because I think this has been one of our best. This is their loss.
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned with the situation, but
Yeah.
Me either.
there's a little bit of rivalry when it comes to me and me and Cece, like who's gonna try to outperform who on what? And I'm like, guy. It was like you ran your own stream, you didn't have your widgets working, you ran your own stream over here, like, you know, we'll just keep ribbing each other. He actually talked about the content's garbage, and I'm like, you're like your trinkets don't work. He's like, that's the important part. Yeah. No, it's not.
Yeah.
And
it's funny how they have to do. I mean, that's how I know that I don't know how related this is, but you know the company Rare. Like they make well, apparently they had like 2 different like divisions within them, and they actually like hated each other, and they had like a friendly rivalry, and that's part of what made the game so good. Because like, okay, you know the story of like how Conker's Bad Fur Day came to be is that like, so they were working on Banjo-Kazooie, and Banjo-Kazooie was going to be this like RPG with like it had like a kid, and a bear was his sidekick, and he was going to fight a pirate or some shit. And then simultaneously they were working on Conker, this other team, and eventually like the Banjo-Kazooie team just like took the Conker engine, was like, oh, let's just do this, let's just do exactly this. And the Conker team was like, well, what the fuck are we going to do now? Because they took all our shit, how are we going to make ours different? And the answer to that was just poop jokes and beer jokes and just, you know, Conker.
I know what you're talking about. I enjoyed Conker's Bad Fur Day. Who could forget the time the bee started to fuck the shit out of the flower? That did something to me.
I'm an asshole because I didn't play I watch a lot of YouTube, so I never played the game, but I saw an entire Let's Play of it. So I know it, but I've never actually like picked up a controller and like played it. But I know what happened. I feel like based on what people watching, say, you don't need to play it because apparently the controls are actually kind of bad. It's funny as shit.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of have a similar experience. I've been watching the FNAF games get played for years, but I've been too much of a little bitch to actually play them.
Yeah, that's like half the fandom has never actually picked up a FNAF game and played it.
I did just recently buy the PS4 port that has like the first game all the way through Sister Location. So I'm planning on playing it soon, but I think I might make it into content when I actually start making videos.
Yeah. I mean, it seems, you know, it's an interesting series, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't do like a regular Let's Play, like just like, hi, my name is Markiplier. Like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna like do like your standard Let's Play. I'm gonna make more of like it's not quite a documentary, but it's not just me playing the game. It's gonna be a lot of editing involved and like cutting to different parts and stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I mean, the more edited the video, the good. Like, I love, you know, videos that are edited. Some of the, like, I don't know if this is off topic, but you know the YouTuber Dumbsville? Like, some of his reviews of, he reviews a lot of movies and a lot of, like, shitty kids movies, but what he will do is he will have like characters walking and he will speed them up and he will play like Hanna-Barbera sound effects over them, and it is always the funniest fucking shit to me. Yeah, but so editing makes a video sometimes.
So Goodly, do you do commissions?
I haven't really done them in a while. I don't exactly have a sheet ready, but if you want to DM me and you know, I'm open to it.
I was talking more on the lines of like if this were to actually get you more out there into the general space.
Yeah, I do commissions. You know, just DM me. I guess I gotta, you know. I did have a price sheet a while ago, but I don't think I advertised it correctly, or nobody wanted to like do it. But yeah, just hit me up and ask me about the prices, and yeah, I am definitely open to that.
Zach, I know things are getting kind of hard. So far as like financially for everybody across the world.
Yeah.
Not to get all sentimental, but I do want to say to everybody that it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. But just as fast as you think it got worse, it's just as quick as it's going to turn around. Like,
you know what?
You'd be surprised how much things can change in a week.
You know, there's a saying about hard times and how they make real people, and then the real people, they make good times, and then the good times they make bitch ass people, and then the bitch ass people make hard times. It's a cycle.
I think you're referring to hard times make strong men. Then yeah.
It was the way I heard it first. It was put differently. I'll just say that.
They're trying to be more inclusive to women, but I'm going to tell you something. Women haven't changed throughout the entirety of the
No. What I'm saying is when I heard the version that I heard, it was like it had
spaced.
Yeah. Okay.
Women haven't changed. They were put here on Earth to challenge men to make them better by being the contrarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did none of that, and that's why my 5-year relationship failed.
Well, did you ever think maybe there was something wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so a lot of times, but turns out it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm thinking, like,
indeed.
I'll talk with you in VC sometimes, Vapor, and I know you said something about, like, man, I started being an asshole, and things just started looking up for me, and I feel like I might just start putting that into practice. I'm like, why the fuck am I going to censor myself for other people? I'm just going to tell people how I feel.
Holy shit, Marshall Nerds in the chat. Damn, how you doing, bro?
Oh, shit.
He actually made the actual quote. It says, hard times make strong men make good times make weak men, and weak men make bad times.
Yeah.
There we go.
The cycle is eternal.
And right now, I feel like, not to start a bigger commentary, but I feel like right now we're definitely in the weak men make bad times part of that.
I mean, I can't say I'm a strong man, you know.
Well,
I'm a bit of a weak.
I have good news.
I've actually kind of.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've kind of I'd like to say that I am kind of proud of myself because I've made myself into a stronger man. I was very weak and very soft growing up. And that's the thing. My dad always tried to tell me that I was soft and that the world was just going to like use and abuse me if I continued being soft. But I mean, you know, sometimes you have to learn for yourself. I was comfortable doing what I was doing as a kid, and I had fun. I look back and I have fond memories. But as an adult, I see what he was saying, and I remember, like, you know, all the tough love and him trying to toughen me up, and like, and how, like, even when it comes to like football, like I played football in high school, and he would always tell me, like, when you get on that field, you need to change, and like, I just couldn't do it at that time. I always gave 100%, but it's the fact that what he was trying to, the part of me that he was trying to harness and get to come out on the field wasn't in me yet. As an adult, I look back now and I have that aggression. I have that, you know, when it comes to opponents, I'm going to be better than you no matter what the fuck it takes. Like, but it didn't come until later. But exactly.
Well,
so like,
if it had come back then, like, look at how we are now. We even said it. It's like if we knew now, we would have been different in high school. But if we were who we are now in high school, we would have peaked in high school, and we would have been like just fucking out of luck.
I don't know about y'all guys. I always peak. I'm always in my peak.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I just feel like in these past couple of years, I've taken a lot of strides to become a stronger person and a stronger man, and it's something I think is very important.
Now I just need to get rid of that woman. I kid. No data.
But it's just weird now because, like, I am an example. I am not necessarily like, you know how they have shit like right now they have the adult Happy Meal, right?
What?
That's the new thing. Yeah, they've got you don't know about this. All right, McDonald's came out with a Happy Meal for adults where it's got like this designer toy by some artist that's like Grimace with 2 eyes. And it's like the same thing as a Happy Meal, but it's like bigger proportions. So instead of like 4-piece nuggets, it's like 10-piece nuggets, and you get or you get a Big Mac. And I just feel like shit like that keeps happening, where we'll make shit where it's like, this isn't your grandma's chocolate milk. This is chocolate milk with alcohol in it. You know, hey guys, let's go to the barcade and shit like that. And it just feels like, because I am a person who, you know, I'm kind of self-conscious about this, but like I need to grow up. I need to become more fucking independent because and I'll see shit like that, and I'll just be like if I wanted to, my life could just never fucking change because everything is just like, hey, remember when you were a kid? Keep doing that. Yeah. Just keep doing that.
This fascination. This fascination with the past that's turning into an infantilization of modern adults.
And like, I get that because like, I feel like we all grew up like during a time when people told us, you know, don't stop caring about what other people think. You should always hold on to your inner child. You know what? If you like doing things that you didn't when you were a kid, keep doing them. And I can understand that to an extent because, you know, it's like, fucking, I'll still play video games and I'll still do dumb shit. But it gets to a point where, like, I feel like that went too far to the point where it's not just you're an adult that is doing kid shit. It's like, you're an adult, and I feel like this is just me projecting completely, but it's like, you're not just an adult doing kid shit, you're just a child that never grew up. You've never grown out of that mentality either. Like, you want to play Pokemon.
Oh, hell yeah, exactly.
Pokemon cards, but it's like there's all these like fucking like weird maladjusted man children that just don't know how the fuck to do anything, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, I mean, back a long time ago, like decades ago, people didn't complain about adulting. They just did it.
No, adulting was not a word because you were just like,
yeah, exactly.
And I'm guilty of the fucking like not knowing how to do shit either. But it's like, it's not quirky that you don't know how to do your fucking taxes. What that is that's gonna land you in fucking jail. You know,
just fucking buy TurboTax and buy Turbo. Like, what you do is you get a bunch of freaking jobs. You actually end up contributing more to the system than what you have taken. And when you fuck up on your taxes and they go looking through it, they'll be really fucking embarrassed and they realize they actually owe you more than what they gave you.
Oh, that is always
pretty, yeah. You know, and to expand on what you're saying, Goodly. Like, yeah, it's also not quirky to it's also not quirky to sit at home like with no fucking job and you're just thinking that one of these days you're gonna come up with this get rich quick scheme.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like you wouldn't believe the people that I've known that they just don't work and like they don't plan to work.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I'm guilty of that too, because like I recently got like a grocery job because I'm just like, fuck, I have to like most people, they'll have like 2 to 3 jobs, especially in this shit economy. So I'm like, you know what? I kind of have a side hustle. I have some things I do, but I need an actual like main hustle. So I'm working on that shit now, you know, and it's been good because I've been actually like, you know, I know like a grocery job isn't the biggest fucking thing, but there's like more structure in my fucking life. I'm actually getting up like at 6, which is just when you're supposed to get up, you know, as opposed to like waking up leery-eyed at like 10 o'clock. Not even at 10 o'clock, at like 12, like college hours, like 12 o'clock. Like, well, I'm a failure.
And I mean,
it's almost and I mean, I might as well stay in bed, you know.
I don't have a job. I have like up until I have up until like this point, until like probably like a couple months ago. I just do DoorDash full time, but I literally do it full time. Like I take it seriously. I'm in my car from like 8 to 10 hours a day, and I do it about 5 to 6 times a week.
Yeah.
But like, there's people that don't even do that.
I mean, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, Bob said, "Could you have a job?" Like,
Well, that's the thing. It's like
you still.
It's like after what happened at the broadcasting job, I realized like I have two options. I could go back doing what I was doing prior, or I can try to do something else. And as a result, I learned a little bit about HVAC. I know how to freaking build ductwork now. I know how to do all that. I still have all the tools to do it with, and also I know how to measure and cut wood, do a little bit of framing. Yeah, there's a lot of freaking work that came into learning that job. I did that for about a year, and that was pretty good. Like just to diversify your skill. My grandfather had told me when I graduated college, said, "Yes, you understand computers. You understand how to build them, and you understand how they work, and that's great. But you need to learn how to do a bunch of other shit. Like you need to learn how to cut wood. You need to learn how to frame things. You need to learn a bit about general electrical experience, and you need to learn a little bit of plumbing. And boy, howdy, I'm going to tell you something. Freaking moving into a house your father has destroyed with his bare hands and saying you have to live here now. Yeah. That'll definitely teach you a handful of things."
Sometimes I like wish I had that shit. Like that feels it feels like you could literally like what you're talking about is not only can you build your own computer, you can build a house now. I'm surprised you aren't like I don't know what the fuck I could create if I knew all that shit. I could create my own fucking like theme park. I could create like Onion Punch Land if I knew how to do all that shit.
Well, you know? Life throws curveballs at you, and sometimes those curveballs are your ass literally turning against you.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's limited in their range. Like, right now, Nae's recovering from surgery. And everybody's got their medical hang-ups. And sometimes life puts you right where you need to be. And oddly enough, I feel like I actually got to right where I need to be in order to have the best thing. Because if I was still working the last two jobs I had prior to this one, I would not have had insurance to actually fix the issue that was wrong with me.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. As an invasive.
What was wrong with you if you don't?
It's great.
Yeah. What was wrong with you if you don't mind? Is that too personal?
You know what a fistulectomy is?
I don't. I don't know if I want to know. I'll look that up later. Oh, I feel like I'm dropping shit. I'm just like fiddling with a USB stick. Sorry about that.
I'll put it to you this way. I'm in zero pain now. About a month ago, I was in agony. Like after the surgery, I was like, "Holy shit! I'm not in pain anymore. Oh my god, I'm not in pain anymore. Am I dead? Holy shit!" And I was like panicking. I was like, "What's gonna fucking happen to me? What's gonna fucking happen to me?"
Yeah. So you were just like used to the pain. Like pain was just like a thing that was so common for you. You're like, "Wait, what? I'm not supposed to be hurting all the time?"
Yeah.
I just ate 4 hot dogs and this.
He just ate 4.
Yeah.
That's gonna make you in pain in a couple hours.
Yeah, says you.
Now
back to your.
Now
back to the Happy Meal thing. I don't know what you're talking about, Gidley. I enjoy my man-child meal.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like if you think about it, whose fault is it really? Is it our fault we want the Happy Meal? Or is it our upbringing that makes us want the Happy Meal?
Well, there is something to be said about that when it comes down to how how your parents raised you. Like I said, I used to draw, and I don't draw anymore, partially because time restraints, but when I was starting to get into it like a little bit, my mom told me it was time to grow up out of it and quit doing it. And it was like, it was so weird the way that I was brought up. It was you could do anything you put your mind to, but holy crap, stop doing that. Like stop doing that. That's not important. Don't do that. And I'm like, okay, so
it makes me sad to fucking because like that's my whole thing, you know, like because I became an artist because I didn't stop drawing, you know, like that's the whole fucking thing. Is like I think I don't know whose quote this is. I think it might be like a Tim Burton quote or something. It's like everybody drew as a kid, and the difference between like a person who does it professionally or like an artist and a person who stopped is that they literally just at some point people just stopped drawing and other people kept drawing because they like doing it, you know. You can't always think.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of get like at some point maybe you do need to grow out of certain things, but like I don't think drawing is. I feel like drawing is.
It all depends.
It depends on how much you have for it, you know.
And it depends on how much you assume personal responsibility as an adult in general.
Yeah.
I don't really see any problem with like, I guess adults buying an adult Happy Meal. I mean, I don't have any interest in it, but what it symbolizes, I feel like is bigger.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there's.
I have a lot of like, and this a lot of the shit that I said, it applies to me. So I have a lot of like, just like personal guilt. Yeah. I have a lot of guilt of like, oh, I'm fucking 27 and there's just shit that I should know how to do that I don't know how to do because I'm just this dipshit who's like, well, I'm an artist, so you know, mom told me I might get famous someday, and that's not a good mentality to have. It's like, no, I need to fucking get my shit together and be responsible.
Well, yeah, it's like when I moved out of my mom's house. I moved in with my grandfather because he was elderly, and I was under the impression that I could spend these last few if it's years with him, and I did, and help take care of things around the house. And I did the best I could. But when I started getting the Warhammer, and something my dad said always sticks with me constantly. It's like you're buying all these models and shit like that. And you're up there in the freaking pool table room, like building them at freaking ungodly hours a night. And that's all fine and dandy to have a hobby. But do you realize, you tell me how much you spend on these things, you could be buying firearms. And I'm like, but I don't want a gun right now. I got to think about it a little bit, and it was like, maybe I could. And I bought a pistol after getting the proper permits and whatnot. Got my conceal and carry. Got all this. Bought a shotgun. Bought a rifle, bought another shotgun, then it was like traded something else for something else. And it was like, and I look at my collection on my vault, like I got a half where I'm like, I haven't played these at all because I grew up a little bit more and things got a little harder. I'm not in college anymore. I can't just do this shit. And I was like to myself, like, well, that's what could I have had if I did what he said to do?
Yeah, exactly. Like
now you have you can defend the home if you really need to, I guess.
Are you trying to tell me that you can't defend your home using Warhammer figures?
No,
it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
So what they gonna do? Trip over them? Stub their toe on them? Like step on the Lego?
Yeah, you can do the Home Alone. Yeah. See, this is when
something tells me that's not gonna work.
Because now you can do the Home Alone thing where you're like, I got all these toys. I can use them as weapons.
Not everyone has time to do the Home Alone thing.
Listen, Animu. Listen, we live in a clown world where certain people get away with certain things all the fucking time, even though if anyone have half a brain, they realize, you know, maybe we shouldn't let people do that.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, so like, because I know personally, I mean, I've been wanting to buy a firearm for years, and I haven't. And I definitely have been putting my money into I've definitely been spending my money on things less valuable than a tool to protect myself. I mostly spend my money on food, but yeah, no. If I just saved up a little bit, I'd definitely be able to buy more essential things. Food is
great. You know, it's you got.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if I get sushi for lunch, maybe not turn around and get Longhorn for dinner. That's almost like $30 worth of food.
Yeah, you gotta.
I don't know about you, Animu. When I get sushi, it's $100. Not because it's expensive. It's just I eat way too fucking much.
Yeah, I get that shit. I get that.
I don't know how the mercury didn't kill me.
I don't know either because I eat sushi almost every day.
Well, Vapor just said he wanted Ronald McDonald McBussy. That's
yeah. You got a problem with that?
I did. You could have just said. Why did you type it in there? You could have just said it.
Why not?
I don't know.
I want it on the record, Goodly, that I, VaporPony, a sound body mind, wants Ronald McDonald's bussy.
Well, I can't confirm or deny whether or not I condone or condemn that. So, good for you.
Yeah, good for me. Good for the world, actually, if you think about it.
I don't know if I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know if it's good for the world that he thinks like that. I'll be right back.
Yeah, he's gonna go beat off thinking about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I've heard some things about McDonald's Sprite and how it be hitting different, but I have never heard of McDonald's pussy and how it be hitting different. So I wouldn't know.
Okay, I'm back. I made a mess with something, and all I can say is my wife may have been right about something. And if she hears this, I'm sorry, and you were right.
What's it? Is it like a personal thing?
What the fuck does that mean?
It's a personal thing. Just I want everyone to know my wife was correct about telling me not to do something, and I did it anyways. And now I know why I don't do those things.
This sounds like a calm moment.
It's not.
Okay, Manny, what were you saying?
She was right. I was wrong. Man is hubris. This is why God made women.
Yeah.
The science has gone too far. What has science done?
Science hasn't gone far enough.
Yeah.
You're not the one with stuff all over his desk.
Slurp it up using your tongue.
No.
Only your tongue. I know.
No. No. You want to tell that story?
We trailed off hard.
Yeah, this became. What were we talking about before? I don't even.
We're talking about vaporwave or something.
We're talking about vaporwave and how it relates to pumpkins, like sentient emotions fighting off lemmings in the wood, and then how you two were going to collab on an album together that would be like a comic book album that would like have like panels, correspond with the timing of the music.
It's funny you say that.
That would be interesting.
I wanted to draw a scene. Okay, so I had this stupid comic that's like not to the public yet.
I've seen it. It's pretty. You put a lot of work into it.
Thank you.
You can tell it's a little bit. It's a little rough, but it's got. I think at the very least, the little pony character that you drew looks appealing, and I think I think you should do something with that.
Well, it's rough because I drew the story as it went. I sketch it out, and then I'm like, yeah, this is where the story's gonna go.
Yeah.
And then it was just kind of like
cleaning up on my mouse pad. Did you hear that?
No,
I can't hear that. Sometimes you gotta write the story down. Sometimes you have to write like a script and be like, you don't have to plan everything out.
No, I don't
But you
do a
have to kind of
script.
be like, here's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
I don't
you
do
know.
scripts. That's gay.
It's important. It's
No, scripts are gay.
no, they're not. I mean, well, they're a little bit gay.
No,
Sometimes you have
shit
to. Be
just
a little
happens. It's funny.
Okay. But then that can't carry, like, sometimes you need more than funny. You have to have a compelling story. You have to have a character
Look,
arc.
the Capelli story was gonna be Mario and his divorce, but that turned into an album.
Yeah, okay. That does sound like that sounds like the heart of the story, because I'm reading it, and it had something, it was like, there was like, Bob Dylan was being, like, there was, like, identity theft or some shit with Bob Dylan.
Yes.
And there was a monkey, and then the monkey cummed, and then that was like the power-ups that they used. It was, it definitely did feel like a very, like, two friends, like, fucking around the comic.
Yeah, I don't talk to that friend no more.
Well, so far as plot, okay. So here's the biggest thing you need to learn about having a good plot with your story. If you just make up willy-nilly and just go on forever, like, with that aspect, there's little separating you from Chris.
Yeah.
No, that's the difference, though.
Well, there's the thing is, like, I feel like, you know, with Chris, there's a lot of things that can separate you from Chris, and one of those things is talent. You know, like, even if you look at things like, you know, a lot of the things people criticize Chris for in the comics, he took his, like, anyone that disagreed with him at all, he would turn that person into a villain, and they would fight in the fucking comic, and it would just be like, I'm the mall security guard that wouldn't let you creep on women in the mall. I'm a bad guy now. But, like, if you think about that, right, Chris did it wrong. Stephen King, I've never seen, like, Carrie all the way through, but he basically took, like, I'm not saying this was a real person, but, like, he took his fears of a fan. Like, you know, he got into, like, a fucking car accident, too. He also put that in the book. And he put his fear of, like, here's a fan I wouldn't want to deal with. And he made that a whole fucking story. And people seem to enjoy it because it's in the public zeitgeist, so.
He made a story. Stephen King wrote a book one time about getting docked by a chick who was obsessed with dogs and fursuits and dead animals.
Oh, Jesus. Was that Carrie?
Stephen King was also on cocaine.
Not Carrie. What? I feel like I'm mixing it up with something else. What was that fucking story?
Misery. You're talking about Misery.
Was a fan?
That's Misery.
Misery, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Carrie isn't remotely Stephen King. Carrie was when the chick who got blood dumped on her, I believe.
Yeah, the period blood, the psychic period blood woman. That was pretty cool.
That was
pretty cool.
That was a rough fucking story.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
You wanna know what else is rough?
What?
The underside of your penis from how much you masturbate.
No, it's actually pretty smooth down there.
I was certain he was going
it's like,
to
you know
say-
that one fabric where it's like velvet? That's my cock.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I guess I need to find out for myself. Oh wait, I don't want to do that.
Are you advertising it? Are you advertising?
You're married.
I'm not only am I married, I don't want to take a hole the same size as him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Velvet cock.
Velvet cock. Yo, if you ever try to make an album to bang to, you should name it Velvet Cock.
Yeah. That would be funny.
I do have an idea, like some ideas for like a porn vaporwave album.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah.
No, that's.
Are you gonna
that's
put it on
pretty-
Pornhub? Are you gonna put it on a different?
I would have to put that somewhere because I don't think YouTube would like that.
That's the thing is, there was like a trend for a while where it was like a whole meme, where because YouTube was getting strict with its rules because it's always been strict and getting even stricter. But like there were all these memes about like people posting their videos onto Pornhub that weren't even pornographic. It was like their content, and the comments were like somehow nicer on the porn site than they were on the actual website or something like
Well,
that.
that's because a bunch of masturbators are nice people. Why do you think I'm so nice to everyone? Except
You
when
are
I'm not.
pretty.
I don't know if self-pleasure has anything to do with it. I don't think that has a degree to do with it. I mean, am I nice?
Do you masturbate a lot?
Not particularly.
I mean, you
No.
pretend to not be, but you kind of are. Yeah. I feel like
You
a
do
lot
little
of us
something.
are nice, even though we feel nauseous when people are too nice. If people are too wholesome, I'm like, oh, that's cringe. I can't be around you. But in here, it's like just the right temperature of like, oh, it's a little bit edgy, but nobody's going to beat me up and kill me, you know?
Well, I wouldn't go that
When-
far. I can't say too much on that one.
Okay.
When people are too nice to me, I get like a fucking like a literal flashback to the time where someone else was nice to me. And then that flashback jumps to another flashback, and then I have Vietnam flashbacks, and I'm just like, I don't fucking like you.
How much Family Guy have you consumed for your like brain to hyperlink like that?
About like 10.
You've watched
I
the
like
entire
good Family Guy.
entire series 10 times?
Maybe
How
11.
many fucking seasons is that, though? That's like, what are they on, season 25 now? Like season 18?
Way too fucking long. I stopped watching it a long time ago.
I feel like if I
first-
put it on, I would still, like, my sense of humor is garbage. I would still probably laugh at Family Guy. I'm one of those people,
I mean,
I
yeah,
make-
probably.
I make fun of it because other people make fun of it, and I'm a fucking sheep. So I'm like, oh yeah, Family Guy is so bad. But I feel like if you put it on in front of me,
It's just bubble.
I would laugh at the dumb humor. I would laugh at the stupid, fucking awful, shitty.
The
Not
last-
even the McDonald's humor, you know, because it's not good for me.
It's
Yeah.
just
The last
bubblegum.
time-
I haven't. Yeah,
The
I haven't
last
watched
time-
it in a while, but I mean, I love those first. I love that first like 8 seasons.
There was a point where they like tried to phase out the gay jokes, which, you know, it kind of feels weird that it's like, okay, you're gonna do everything else, but you're not gonna do as many gay jokes for whatever reason. That was a thing,
What?
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you hear everybody gets shit show, everybody should continue getting shit.
I am a bisexual man. I am a gay man, kind of, and I will say, bring back the gay stereotypes on the Family Guy, because odds are,
I mean,
you know,
it makes it.
odds are, if you're, the thing is, like, gay people, actual gay people, the more over the top a gay character is, they actually love it, because Q-Force has gotten nothing but praise from everyone, apparently. And you look at that show, and it's just like, oh, it's 5 different Xanders from Drawn Together, even though that show would,
Yo,
if you showed that
Q-Force
now,
got universally panned.
Listen here,
oh, good, very good then.
listen
Good.
here, motherfucker. Don't talk shit about Drawn Together.
I
That
like
show is a
Drawn
lot
Together.
smarter than you fucking realize.
I am saying I love Drawn Together, but I am saying that character Xander, if you did him today, people would be upset and like, oh, that's a negative, that's a stereotype, that's a mean stereotype.
And then those people
then-
can fuck right off, and those same exact people are running through the streets in pride. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing is that
Right.
they
Yeah,
use that over
those
the top
people.
character.
Those
But then,
those
like,
types of
they-
people who say that are just very bottom.
I don't want to say
Only
too
bottoms
much.
Yeah.
say they hate Xander.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much either.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
I'm not.
Bottom
But-
text.
I don't fucking care. Look,
But,
I'm gonna say I hold myself back from saying a whole lot worse than what I want to say, but I already let it out.
Oh yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
I support
Just
gay
like
people, I
some
support
friends I
trans
had.
people, I support all the LGBTQ people, but
Really, it doesn't
don't-
matter. You have a pee-pee.
that doesn't mean that I like all the content that is not for me, because I look at it sometimes and I'm like, what the hell is this? You know, what the heck is that? I don't understand it. Yeah, but yes, I do have.
They them took my friends away, and I don't like that.
No, but now you're dating a they them. So
That's not they them, and shut up! Don't talk about my dating life.
I'm sorry, I doxed your dating life. I didn't mean to.
Stop doxing Pony. Goodly, what are you doing
right now? So I'm just like, oh yeah, let's fucking talk about. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, Goodly. I have one. Like we're hitting on it being like on the East Coast. It's already a new day. It's already Thursday. I got stuff to do in the morning and whatnot. So we're gonna wrap it up. But I got one more question for the both of you. Okay.
Yeah.
Say we're like a month or a few weeks down the line, right? And you get a lot bigger. Somehow this right here has propelled you both like far beyond what you could possibly imagine. And then someone begins to obsess about you. A person who you've probably talked to maybe like once or twice in a passing.
Oh.
They obsess about you to an extent of you are actually becoming fearful. What do you do if they message you one day and they say, you give me everything, you give me more attention than everybody else, or I'm going to reveal who you are to the world?
Oh God.
Well, that's the thing.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not.
Let's go with Pony first. Pony first, man.
Okay, sorry.
That's the thing, you know, like, if I were to get doxxed, like, the next day, I ask myself, what would Jim do? What would Mr. Macker do? And then I just make a bunch of jokes, because at the end of the day, who the fuck cares who I am?
Yeah.
If all the coarse and rude shit about me gets out, I'll just do it more.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Delete me? What are they gonna do? Go after my banks? I don't care. I have nothing to live for. Fuck them.
You know, honestly, same with me, because like, you know, I try to be a little bit more careful with my identity now, because, you know, I've learned a lot of internet safety shit that I probably should have known because I'm a grown man. Like, there's a story about, not a story, but like, I was basically told by one of the mods from the other server we were in. They were like, hey, you know, because this was back when I was on my conspiracy theory shit, and I was like, oh, what, who got doxxed, and what, there was doxing? Where's the, I don't want to get doxxed, fuck you, fuck these people, you know. And then somebody just messaged me, they were like, you talk about all this shit, but you do realize your Facebook is public, and you have all your information on it. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But, and I had to change that to private immediately, but if I get doxxed...
Goodly's IP address is...
At this fucking point, like, you know, I'm trying to be a little bit private, but I'm fucking ready for it. You know, just go the fuck ahead. And you know what? Here's the thing: if they dox me, I'm gonna start adding shit to it. I'm gonna be like, oh, you know my fucking name? Well, here's my address too, and here's my fucking here's the name of my family.
What? You'll just end up doing what Christian did with that.
People, no, but like the people, if you have to go far enough. Okay, here's the thing. I know we're in a community where we talk about lolcows and shit, but if you dox people, you're fucking pathetic. Like, go the fuck outside, do anything else, because we live in a community right now where the two things that I have heard the most about the internet from, you know, the community that we were in and the community we are now is, number one, don't take the internet seriously, and number two, don't get mad at Wi-Fi signals. And if somebody is so upset at the internet that they are doxing your address, they're fucking pathetic. And you know what? Have at it, fucker. Come to my no. Here's because this is I'm a little fucking paranoid, and I have thought about this. You better be willing to take a gun, drive all the way to my fucking address, and point it at my fucking head. Because odds are you're not willing to do that. So fuck off. Okay, that's my address. Fine. Here's my address. Here's my name. I was not fucking careful with anything. So my face is out there. My fucking... Well, I literally have business cards with my name, Goodly Draws, on it. It's got my fucking phone number on it, which I don't want people to find. But, you know, whatever. Just whatever. let's start getting crazy with shit. Let's start getting wild. You know.
I didn't mean to draw such a visceral reaction from you. I'm sorry.
I've been thinking about this a lot. You know.
Well, it's good to just put it out there, mate. Yeah. I have the feeling that everybody has something they don't want the world to know. But at the same time, exactly. like okay, look at Eugene. You look at Eugene, and you know he has already owned up to everything that he's gonna own up to, and anything else anyone can find, like George can find that fucking goddamn Ginks. Fuck him.
What does Eugene even have to own up to?
Nothing. That's the thing. Is like the people who he pokes fun at are poking back. Mm-hmm. And they're literally like they've done freaking outrageous, irreparable damage to other people's lives, and they get poked fun at. They get all big mad, and so he's like, "Come at me." There's literally nothing you can do, and then they're like, they have nothing on him, so they say, "Well, you're kidding." And I'm like, and that's where you cross the fucking line.
Yeah, and he crossed the line. He's got his kid like on the microphone at his show. It's like, oh, my fucking kid? Yeah, of course. Fuck what? He's part of the fucking show practically. You know?
Yeah. They like people if they cannot get to you and get under your skin, they will go after people around you to get under your skin. Like somebody, like the person I was talking about earlier, who made music. Yeah. They couldn't get the robe. So they try to get under Asterix skin to get the robe.
Yeah. And this is the fucking thing, is that people like that, like, you know, because I feel like I'm revealing way too much about myself, especially because I'm like advertising.
It's fine.
But, yeah, I don't care. But, like, you know, this is the thing, like, at Kiwi Farms right now has gone down and is kind of going up. But Joshua Moon said this thing where if you are a person who likes to look at people's information and look at lolcows, which I'm not above that, you are a prey animal. You are vulnerable, and you need to fucking start acting like you're vulnerable. And if somebody is doxing, then guess what, motherfucker? You would not feel the same way you do about doxing if you got doxed yourself. And you, eye for an eye, motherfucker. You deserve it. If you hoard nukes, then and somebody fucking launches one at you and you explode, then I have no sympathy for you. And I don't care why you. If you do dox somebody, they better be like a fucking pedophile. They better be like a child molester. They better be just the worst person in the world. You don't do it because of some petty fucking reason, like they insulted you or they fucking made you mad or some shit. You know?
Here's the thing about like gathering information on people online is one thing. Releasing it to try to like do something is completely different. Yeah. It's like, okay, I know your name, I know your real name, I know all this shit, and it's like when you find something like that, you like to that degree, you need to like treat. Okay, so here's the biggest thing. Here's the biggest thing that comes from all this, and this is a life lesson that anyone who hears can probably take and go about it any way they want to. You treat other people in your life, people you come across either online or in public. I'm not talking about treating them with empathy or sympathy, or well, if that was me. No. Treat them as if they could be dangerous and respect the fact they could be. When you go to the zoo and you see a tiger, you see a lion, you see a bear, you see something that is built to kill you. Yeah. You take great solace in the fact that you have this distance between you and them, because they know if you're on an equal playing ground, you'd be fucking dead, and you have respect for that animal.
Oh shit! That kid's about to start.
Oh what?
Oh, I just got a notification saying CC's Pixel Tavern, the nightcap number 5.
Got him.
Yeah, well, we'll wrap up here in a second. I don't want to overlap too much.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and finish up. Like, treat everybody as if they're something to be respected. Like everybody inside of them.
Tigers.
Like anybody has something within them that makes them special. And if you treat things with the care that they require, things be fine. If you're going to be interacting with dangerous people and people are like, put up that, getting dirty, you're going to get dirty. And so people don't realize how dangerous humans are. But besides ants, humans wage the species on Earth that wage war. Ants are the only other species that wage war on a global scale.
It's like the way you're talking about this. It's like fucking. Why can't the internet just be fun? Why can't we just laugh at memes? We gotta worry about this shit about like, oh, somebody's gonna find my information,
Well, that's the biggest thing.
And
it's just it all boils down to that people are terrible. You get to respect them and to know them. To know humanity is to know that they can do terrible things to you. To know that you can do terrible things to them.
Why can't? That's the thing. Is it sometimes it just feels like sometimes there are people that are allowed to do terrible things to you, but if you ever retaliate, then it's like, oh man, you poked the bear. And it's like, motherfucker, your entire thing is poking the bear. Like, you go out of your way.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, I was just saying, it's never underestimate the no life weak idiots of the internet.
Oh yeah. I feel like that is me in some ways. So
I got one.
Well, no, I'm talking.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm talking about specifically the weak no life motherfuckers that have malicious intent towards others. I'm not talking. I'm not talking about people like you. You don't wish anybody any harm.
I don't know. I mean, well, the thing is, I don't wish anybody harm, but like, I don't know. I feel like it goes back and forth. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I love everybody, but then sometimes people will do shit, and I'll be like, man, why the fuck are you doing that? Like, you're talking shit about this guy, but then you got all a bunch of shit about you. And I guess that doesn't mean that I wish anybody harm. I feel like the worst thing I want to do to people is just yell at them. But then, and then sometimes I even go too far with that. I'll blow up on certain people, and then I'll realize, oh, that was way too fucking far for what that person did, and now I don't have a friend anymore.
Yeah, like that's topical, but the only thing I'd say is people like to jump on the Bible a little bit and poke fun at it because people have misused what's in it for so long. We've become a society that's like detached itself from the meaning, to where you would ask your mom, why do we go to church as a kid, and she's like, I don't know, we've just done it.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, I'm an atheist, and I feel like sometimes I'll look back on the Bible. Like, I'll look back on, like, parables and be like, yeah, that makes sense. Kind of.
Yeah. Even if you don't like, you don't have to be a Christian to read the damn thing. And there's still some lessons in there that can be proven useful. Like,
it's like...
Yeah, agreed.
Like, the one that can really show the true measure of a person, and we need to wrap this up and get this over with, but I'll just say this one last thing for you, Shill. It's like, if you want to figure out how to approach people who have wronged you, there is a story in the Bible that goes with the story of Aesop. I want to say it's the story of Aesop and his brother. The names escape me, but anyway, the story goes to where the strong brother was born first, and the meek brother was born second. One of them was a good hunter, and the other one was a gardener. One of them was hairy like a man, and the other one was smooth like a sissy boy. But regardless,
I know this story.
The mother favored the sissy boy a little bit, and that comes like into that. Their father is in declining health. Their father has a good relationship with God, and he asked for his oldest son to come here so he may give him his blessing, so that God may smile upon him as he has in his lifetime. Well, the mom cohorts with the weak one, and pretends to be the oldest brother, and he gets the blessing by tricking his father. And when it came time for Aesop to get his blessing, his father said, "I'm sorry, but I've already given my blessing to whoever came here first. I'm so sorry." And he said, "Surely, Father, make do something for me."
His
And
father literally just said, "You snooze, you lose."
no. He gave him something. He said it's like he gave him the blessing to go get his vengeance as he sees fit against that person. And so hearing that, his mother said, "Okay, you need to get the fuck out of here. Your brother is going to murder you for what you've done here. So I'm going to save you. You run away." The weaker brother runs out. He runs out, and he goes on his adventure. He has a hard knock life. He gains a bunch of resources, whatnot. He becomes an honorable man. And his brother catches back up with him with a massive fucking army. And he's like, my brother is going to kill me. There he is. There is man. He's going to kill me. But instead of running away from him this time, he meets him face to face. And his brother's overjoyed to see him. And he says, I'm sorry, brother, for taking away what you want, what was rightfully yours. And it's like, please, take these things and don't kill me. And he said, brother, I don't need any of those things. It's like, look at what I've amassed without that. And it's like, I was able to do all this stuff, and you don't owe me anything.
Aww.
So, the way that is that even though somebody has wronged you in the past, and taken away what was rightfully yours, you can still get something else. You don't need help from, like, others. Like to that extent, it's like just because somebody's taking something from you doesn't mean that you can rightfully take something from them and feel justified about it.
Yeah. It almost feels like maybe I feel like I'm missing a little part of it, but that kind of reminds me of that whole, like, you know, there's sort of the trope of like the magic feather, or the like, you know, use this and you'll run super fast, and then you know, at the end of the episode, or at the end of the story, whatever, they realize it wasn't the talisman, it wasn't the charm, it was you the whole time. You had it in you, and you just needed to believe in yourself. That bullshit.
Well, it could be that to a certain degree. It's just more in the lines of fighting with your brother, like over something like this, even if they've like wronged you. Time can heal wounds, and. Maybe if everybody learned that just because you can do something doesn't mean you should, is what it is. Yeah, like so. He could have very easily hunted him down, stomped the skull into the fucking mud and been done with it. But then he would have been no better than Cain killing Abel.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a, you know, shit happens, get over it kind of thing. Like, oh, you're gonna kill the guy? Well, you could do that, or you could improve yourself.
Yeah.
And just work from there. I guess so, yeah.
Like, there's...
I get that. That is definitely a thing where, you know, you can focus on, you know, people that have, like, fucked with you, or you can move on. And sometimes I have a hard time with that, but that is definitely something that, yeah, to I guess, reflect on in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we're going to go ahead and cut it here. I want to thank everybody for joining us that it has. I want to thank Vapor, and I want to thank Goodley for joining us.
It's been a good time, man. I had fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
Maybe now you might contribute to the viewership, but I doubt it.
Yeah, a little bit. It's complete transparency. I am here for. At this point, I'm not even here for Rogue. I don't even know how to feel. I'm just here because I have spent 2 years in this community, and I've made a lot of friends. And Eco, like, just the community we have now, it is so fucking nice. Like, just people there are. It feels like a real community, you know? I love Helm, I love Kazoo, I love Vapor, man. And Vapor's gone on record saying, you know, he views internet friends as acquaintances, and I get that, but, you know, I like it here.
So, bitch, I got people in my real life I call acquaintances.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to go back and I'm going to link various things. I'm going to link Onion Punch. I'm going to link Vapor's new thing in the description below. If anyone feels so inclined, go ahead and take a peeky. Okay.
I might make a sequel to that album.
We'll see. Okay, everybody say goodbye.
See you.
Thank you for joining us. Goodbye, everybody. Good night. Until next time.
This got me more late than everything.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, we're clear. You can if you want to. I got the the art showcase I'm going right now. No problem. It was definitely fun. I didn't write any down. Yeah, to where I had questions written down for Eugene. It's mostly because I had like genuine questions because I've been watching his stuff a lot longer, and not to mention that mysterious man on the internet. Oh, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been watching your shit too." I'm like, "Wait," I was like, "Oh, I know a lot more about you than you think." I'm like, "Huh?" Yeah. Well, not just that. He knows stuff about me I didn't think anybody knew, or anybody had saw or remembered. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I saw when you were in that place." I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting." Yeah. Oh.